Elgin police responded to a shooting that left one person injured yesterday. Officers say they responded to the shooting around 2 in the morning at Circle K. According to officers, a store clerk shot an individual during an active assault. Officers say the individual sustained a minor injury, and after investigating, the incident was determined to be self-defense.
Action 7 News.
A shooting outside the Children, Youth and Families Department in Albuquerque has its staff concerned. Julian Paras is live near that facility with new information.
Doug, that's right. So CYFD staff doesn't know much about the shooting, but we do now have new information about what happened here from New Mexico State Police and how it escalated last night. So New Mexico State Police reporting a security guard shot a man on the property once, sending him to the hospital. They say the shooting happened around 7:30 Tuesday night. The shooting guard was assigned to the CYFD building last night and noticed 36-year-old Casey McRae sleeping on the property. The guard told McRae he was trespassing and had to leave, but state police say instead McRae sprayed the security guard with bear spray, which led to the security guard shooting the man. A CYFD spokesperson reaching back out to us, saying behavioral health staff was on scene to provide support and resources to CYFD staff. The spokesperson adding there were people inside during the shooting, but says that no one was hurt. In addition, New Mexico State Police and emergency response offered their aid to McRae before he was sent off to the hospital. He is said to be in stable condition. Live in Albuquerque, Julian Paras, KOAT Action 7 News.
You can see at the WKRN.com alert desk following breaking news overnight. 2 people are injured following a shooting in South Nashville. Metro Police say this happened during an attempted robbery on Charles E. Davis Boulevard and Green Street. Police tell us a male robbery suspect pulled a gun on a victim and told him to take off his clothes, which he did. Then the victim grabbed a gun out of his pants and shot the robbery suspect twice. This is some video from the scene. Details are still limited, but from officers there and from dispatch, we've learned one person was transported to the hospital with a gunshot wound, and a ricochet victim also showed up at the hospital on their own. We're also told the robbery suspect has non-life-threatening injuries.
Or a robbery attempt turns deadly in Mantua. The violence played out inside a corner store and spread into the streets when the getaway vehicle slammed into a SEPTA bus. 2 suspects were able to get away. A third was taken into custody after being wounded in an exchange of gunfire with the victim. It is Thursday afternoon. I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Gray Hall. Brian is off. The big story on Action News is that chaotic scene that played out at 40th and Brown Streets just late last night. Investigators right now working to track down those suspects.
Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson is live at the scene with the details for us this afternoon. Sharifa.
Yeah, Gray, Sarah, chaotic scene it was. Police say this investigation includes multiple different suspects, multiple locations, and it was all captured on surveillance video.
I'm not surprised yet. I'm surprised that it happened.
Less than 24 hours after a man was shot and killed at this Mantua corner store, the front door and windows are still locked. Crime scene tape also tied to nearby poles at 40th and Brown Streets. And neighbors are processing the violent night.
There's a lot of people that just hang out there late at night, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. So this is surprising to me.
This shooting happened around 10 p.m. Wednesday night. Philadelphia police say 2 guys entered the corner store and attempted to rob a man at gunpoint who was playing one of the video slot machines. The 36-year-old victim was killed, but police say the tables were turned when the 17-year-old suspect was also shot.
And it appears that the victim who died pulled his weapon and there was an exchange of gunfire.
Police say all of this was captured on surveillance video. Investigators say the video also shows the 2 suspects, including the injured teen, jump into a Mazda SUV driven by a third person. That vehicle was recorded by city-owned cameras going the wrong way down Brown Street before crashing head-on into a SEPTA bus. After attempting another getaway, police would find the 17-year-old nearby with gunshot wounds to the arm and chest. Police rushed him to a hospital where he's being treated and held as a prisoner. They're still searching for the 2 other suspects. And police say 9 people were on that SEPTA bus, including the driver. They were not injured, and they say while they have a lot of surveillance video, they're still looking and sorting through even more. They're hoping to get a better description of these 2 suspects. Live in Mantua, Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News.
Police officer for a local community college was stabbed at Fiesta Island this morning. Police say that off-duty officer shot and killed his attacker. NBC7's Dana Williams has details on the investigation.
Homicide detectives were here for hours, and a few hours ago they reopened Fiesta Island. This area behind me, this is where the crime scene was. They had up yellow tape, and within that yellow tape there were two vehicles, one a lighter colored van, the other a darker colored truck. They towed away that lighter colored van. The truck is still here, but we don't have information as to whose vehicles or what their involvement is. What we do know, officers say almost as soon as that off-duty officer got out of his vehicle, that's when the other man came up and stabbed him.
Well, I think that anytime anyone is stabbed, that's odd. And then anytime that you end up with an off-duty officer having to shoot somebody, it's extremely rare. You know, it's very rare for us.
Lieutenant Judd Campbell is with the San Diego Police Department's homicide unit. He says they got an emergency call about a stabbing on Fiesta Island at 10 a.m. Officers then responded as soon as they could.
When they got to this location, they did find two men here. One had been stabbed and one had been shot.
They learned the man who was stabbed was an off-duty San Diego Community College District police officer who's been employed by the district for around 25 years.
What we know is it appears that this happened almost immediately after the officer arrived here, that there was some sort of physical confrontation and he was stabbed. As that stabbing was happening, it seemed like the officer got a firearm and ended up shooting the male.
He was shot at least one time, then died at the scene. Police say he's a 41-year-old, but they have not yet shared his name. The officer was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, but he is expected to recover.
We are very interested in talking to anybody that may have witnessed this. We're very interested in talking to anybody that may have been here earlier in the day and seen something strange or had any other altercations to try and figure out, exactly what happened here.
I'm just a regular here.
Timothy McCallion is one of the many people who comes to Fiesta Island often. He, like the two men involved in the deadly fight, brings his dogs.
This is not a really good situation. It bums me up.
He didn't see what happened today, but when he pulled up to make his daily visit, he saw the yellow tape.
I was really disappointed. It kind of, it shocks my gut because it's a friendly place. It's a place people come to have peace.
So the hope is that the police can find answers and that peace can be restored.
We are going to have to slow down and kind of work our way through that, working through the scene, working through finding anyone that may have witnessed it, that sort of thing.
It's not yet clear if the gun used by the off-duty officer was his service weapon or not. For now, from Fiesta Island, I'm Dana Williams, NBC7.
If the criminal does not fear the police, a judge, or prison, he must be taught to fear his victims.